Let's be real. If you've spent any time at all on social media lately, you've seen them. They're young, they're super confident, and they're promising to teach you all the secrets to getting rich. Secrets they say Wall Street's been hiding from you. Today we are diving deep and decoding the world of the finfluencer. A line like that, it's designed to stop you dead in your tracks while you're scrolling, right? It's bold, it's anti-establishment, and it perfectly sums up the whole idea of the finfluencer movement. It's basically a rebellion against old-school finance, all wrapped up in a nice, neat package for the social media age. And believe me, it is absolutely working. We're not talking about some small niche community here. Some of these influencers have audiences of over 15 million people. That's not just a number. That's a massive sphere of influence, one that's capable of shaping the financial decisions of an entire generation.
So to really get a grip on what's going on, here's how we're going to break it all down. First, we'll look at who these new faces of finance actually are. Then we'll trace their journey from Wall Street to social media stardom. After that, we'll decode the hype around their advice, try to understand the bigger finfluencer effect, and finally, and this is the important part, we'll give you a toolkit for navigating your own feed.
All right, first up, the new face of finance. The key player here, the character at the center of it all, is often what you might call the finance X. You know the type. Someone who claims they were on the inside, saw how the whole system really worked, and has now gone rogue to spill all the real secrets with the rest of us.
So, what's their secret sauce? How do they build such a massive, dedicated following so fast? Well, it's not just about the advice they're giving, it's about the story. Let's trace that journey from Wall Street to viral sensation.
Okay, so this timeline basically lays out the classic finfluencer playbook, and you got to admit, it's a powerful one. Look, it starts all legit, right? 2018, a finance degree. 2019, lands a high-pressure Wall Street job. But then comes the twist, the relatable part. In 2023, they quit, citing burnout. And that insider-turned-outsider story, that's the whole hook. It gives them this air of authenticity. See, they're not just some random person online. They've been in the belly of the beast. And from that first viral post, it's like a rocket ship straight to media sensation.
Okay, so the story is powerful, the appeal is totally there. But what are they actually telling people to do with their money? If you look past the slick videos and the confident delivery, what's the real substance behind all the hype? Let's decode it. So often, the core message boils down to something just like this. A super high-risk, super high-reward play that flies in the face of all traditional advice. The message is simple. They say diversification is for playing it safe. They argue that if you want real, life-changing wealth, you have to make one big, bold bet.
And the vehicle for that big bet is usually a meme stock. Now, it is so important that we're all on the same page about what this term means. With a meme stock, the value has almost nothing to do with the company's actual performance. Profits, revenue, all that boring stuff. Instead, the price is driven almost entirely by social media hype and viral momentum. It's a completely different ballgame.
And this really puts the contrast in stark relief. On one side, you've got the influencer's take. Think of it like buying a lottery ticket. It's a high-stakes gamble for a massive, quick payout. On the other side, you have conventional wisdom. Think of that more like planting a tree. It's a slow, steady process of growth over a long period of time. These aren't just different strategies. They're completely opposite philosophies on how you should build wealth.
But look, this is way bigger than just a few viral stars. We're talking about a massive cultural shift in how people, especially younger people, are thinking about money. So the big question is, why now? Why has this very specific brand of financial advice gotten so incredibly popular all of a sudden?
And honestly, this chart tells you pretty much the whole story. Just look at where Gen Z gets their financial advice. A whopping 45% comes from social media. Compare that to family and friends at 25%, or traditional financial advisors way down at just 10%. In a time of economic uncertainty and a growing distrust in old institutions, the gatekeepers have totally changed. The whole conversation about money has moved from a stuffy office to a 60-second video on your phone.
Now, to be fair, we have to look at both sides here. What's the upside? Well, finfluencers make finance feel way less intimidating, and they can genuinely spark someone's interest in investing. But the downside, well, it's pretty significant. The advice is completely unregulated. It often just glosses over huge complex risks, and it pushes this one-size-fits-all strategy that, let's be honest, just doesn't work for most people.
So, all of this leads us to the most important question of all. In this brand new landscape, how do you sort the good advice from the bad?
How can you become a smart, critical consumer of all the financial content that is flooding your feed every single day?
Here's a simple 3-step reality check you can use. First, vet the source. Don't just get wowed by follower counts. What are their actual qualifications? Second, question their motive. Are they really just here to help you, or are they trying to sell you something like a course or a product? And third, and this is probably the most important one, know yourself. Does this super high-risk advice actually line up with your personal goals, your timeline, and your own comfort level with risk?
Because at the end of the day, that is the real takeaway here. True financial empowerment isn't about just blindly following the latest viral trend. It's about developing the skills and the confidence to think critically for yourself, to ask the tough questions, and to be the architect of your own financial future.
And that leaves us with this central, nagging question of our digital age, doesn't it? In a world where anyone with a phone can brand themselves as a financial genius, how do you decide who is actually worth listening to?